Welcome to this module, Transferring Assets. In this module, you're going to learn the essentials that you need to do prior to transferring any assets into your trust. First, you need to get organized. So you want to make extra copies of all of the provided forms. So you can go down to the resources area where you have a bunch of forms there, and you need to print them out and add them to your 3-ring notebook. So number 2 is to obtain a binder or a notebook that is specifically for your trust. So in this notebook, you are going to have your trust indenture and agreements, all of your Schedule A, your meetings, and you'll have your provided forms that you need in order to file taxes or in order to do any trust related operations. Number 3, you want to label each binder appropriately and place the trust deeds along with their schedules into their respective notebooks. So in this program, you either created 2 trusts or 3 trusts, which means that you need to have 2 to 3 binders and you need to label them. So for example, if you have the private family trust, it needs to have its own binder, and everything that deals with the private family trust is going to go in this binder. So you don't want any documents or any meeting minutes or any loan documents or banking information from your business trust inside of the binder for your private family trust. Number 4, you're going to divide each trust record book with their indexes in certain tabs. So the way that we recommend it is that you have your trust deed first. So after that, then you're going to have your records. So any letters like from the banks or any minutes from your meetings, any certificates like your trust certificate units, any contracts, any exchanges, or any appointments like a secretary or any other board members are going to go in the second tab, which is the trust records. The third tab is going to have your schedules. So that's going to be your Schedule A. And then the 4th tab is going to have any citations or Schedule H's, which are like your tax documents. And then the 5th tab is going to have forms either like government related forms, it could be IRS documents, or it could be any other types of trust documents. Number 5, you are only going to keep your trust records in one trust notebook. Like I mentioned earlier, you do not want to mix and mingle. So if you have more than one trust, then you don't want the material from your business trust into your private family trust binder, okay? You want to avoid confusion and be as organized as possible because that's going to help you in the long run. Asset list. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to copy and complete the asset list that we have below this video. You can go to the attachment or you can go to the resources tab and you'll be able to find the asset list. That is going to be a list that you can use in order to jot your memory of what assets you can transfer into the trust. So once you complete your asset list, you also want to complete an inventory of all your assets. So everything that you want to put into your trust, you can do that. So we recommend that you put either majority or all of your assets into your private family trust. It just depends on which assets you have. In the video where we talk about transferring your car title, we don't recommend that you initiate a transfer of your car title into your private family trust that will also have your houses in there, because your car is going to be out on the road and is highly liable, and you do not want that type of asset mixed in to the same entity as a house or a brokerage account, just in case for, legal purposes, dealing with litigation. All right, number 3, the asset list will help you to get organized and for you to remember what types of assets that you can actually put into the trust. And then number 4, if finding or listing all of your assets in the property, if you find it difficult, then just have a blank canvas and then just jot down every single asset that you believe that you have. Because right now at this point, since you either haven't created the trust, you might not be at the point where you need to transfer the assets right away, but eventually you want to do it as soon as possible, especially if it's a home. But other assets like bank accounts and brokerage accounts and things of that nature, you can, hold on to for a little bit. All right, so how to arrange the transfer. So one, you want to decide what assets belong to which trust, because actually completing any transfers, you need to be able to know. So for example, like I said, with the car, you actually want to create a trust just for your car, because that is such a high liability asset to have, because it's constantly in the road. You could get into a car accident, somebody could hit you, and then those people could end up suing the trust because the car is owned by the trust. So the best practice is for you to have a trust only specifically for your vehicle, and that trust is going to be owned by another trust, by your other trust. So that is the best practice. So you need to, get into the arrangement process. So for example, if you are a couple, a husband and wife, you guys, let's just say, have 3 cars, then you either want to create one trust for the 3 cars, or you want to create 3 different trusts for each vehicle. So you want to be able to, manage your trust in an easy, less complicated way. Okay. So the things that I am suggesting now are actually going to help you with that. So one, you want to actually create a flow chart, and you can do it. I used a company called Whimsical, and what you can do is you can just create, boxes, and then you can say, hey, this vehicle trust is owned by this asset holding, family trust. So you can create lines just to show, either the flow of money, or you can show the flow of asset ownership, protection. So you definitely want to create a chart just to keep in mind which trusts own the other types of trust. All right, number 3, you want to create various drafts of all of your documentation. Number 4, you are going to do this several times in order to determine like the cash flow, the responsibility, benefits, and the ownership of your trust. So if you have 5 trusts, that can be a little complex. So like I said, you want to create a flow chart so that you can know which trusts own which trusts and which ones are the beneficiaries, and how does your cash flow through and in between each trust. This is the end of the module.